Father Nathan, everybody!
All right, I got you, buddy.
Hell yeah.
He gave me AIDS.
Yes, sir. That was excellent.
Thank you. That was
All right, on deck, we're going to have the very funny Charter Aswad. That's his real name, but come to the stage right now. Another crazy name, Stonkey, the Boy Wonder. Big Stonk. Yes.
So, I'm glad somebody else mentioned it. Pride Month is over, but while it was going on, I was having some intrusive thoughts. I was driving to work one morning, and I'm driving there, I'm thinking, Matthew McConaughey is a stud. The perfect specimen of a man, he really is. I bet he's got a great cock. And if that wasn't bad enough, I start visualizing it in my head. And I have to stop. It's not even 4 in the morning. I'm driving to work. I almost drive off the road because I'm sitting there picturing Matthew McConaughey's McConaughey. I pray the gay away and I continue on with my day. I'm not gay, not in the slightest. But if his cock could speak with the Texas drawl, I'd let it whisper in my ear. I bet it smokes Marlboro Reds. I bet it does. Anyways, I'm going to work. I used to work with this guy named Ray. He was a piece of work is what Ray was. He used to say shit like, if I didn't get arrested for armed robbery, I'd have joined the Marine Corps. I would have. And I said, Ray, you're telling me those were your only options? It was Semper Fi or reach for the sky? And he would shrug. And I said, Ray, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in all my life. And he said, well, you didn't think you'd be working with Einstein back in the kitchen of this here Sonic, did you? Fair enough. So I'm telling this to a guy I work with now, and he says, what happened to Ray? I tell him, well, Ray overdosed on heroin a couple of years back. He starts giving me that, oh, shucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. I stop. I say, no. For Ray, it was either go to community college or die on the toilet of a heroin overdose. And like a jazz musician, Ray, he chose legend. So speaking of jazz musicians, I was listening to the song Copacabana by Barry Manilow the other day. Y'all know it? Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. Anyway, and I got this flashback to jazz band in high school. And we went to this jazz festival at Southwestern Oklahoma State University. And they had a clinic with jazz trombonist Bill Watrous. And that was cool. I'm thinking, cool, we're gonna learn some like jazz technique or some solo building. No. He gets up, he's got his shades on. He starts telling stories about the Merv Griffin band shooting smack and smoking reefer in the basements of clubs they would play in. And if that wasn't bad enough, he goes on to tell a story about them playing the Copacabana. And he goes on, he starts talking, he goes, we were playing the Copacabana, and 2 guys come into the front row, and they gunned down 2 plainclothes policemen. I guess you could say they were made men. Anyways, I got one more. For this next joke, I need someone cool to tell it. I busted up my shades earlier. I got another pair at home. It's all good.
Woo! Yeah! Here,
Here, if you wouldn't mind holding this, I'll be back for that in a second. I had this girl who added me on Snapchat, and we get to talking. She says, it's a little embarrassing, but I'm in a rehab program right now. I said, bitch, shut your trap. Ain't nothing embarrassing about that. We all got problems, sweetheart. Sometimes we need a little help. It's no big deal. I send her a picture of me at work. I got my apron on. My hair net's tied tight. And she says, oh. Fuck's that even mean? Oh. She says, personally, I don't know if I could be with the guy who's 25 and still working at McDonald's. So I said, bitch, you're in luck. Personally, I don't know if I could be with some strung out fucking coos. That was a little weird. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry about that, guys. Anyways, I did pay her for pics of her pussy. Thank you, guys. I'm Stonkeytheboywonder. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, yeah. Stonkeytheboywonder, folks. If you've ever wanted to see the Colonel Sanders turn into Andrew Dice Clay, that was it, folks. On deck, we're gonna have Bert D. But coming to the